immigration organization called Casa Cornelia for years prior to becoming the legal director at Pathways to Citizenship. She feels our immigrant community is vital and is compelled to assist in whatever capacity she can. So a big welcome to Morgan.
Hello, it's my pleasure to be able to step in for Sonia. I'm hoping to do as good of a job as I know she would have done. Let me try to share my screen. You'd think after all this time, we would have technology figured out, but I still...
Oh, I think we're on that position, Morgan. I had problems this morning getting on Zoom.
Well, let me see. It's not letting me share. Shoot.
Now, our president, Sally Piccirillo, I sent her a copy of your
yes.
slides. Would it be helpful?
Yes, I have it. Oh, she's got it. She's got it.
Okay, good.
There we go.
Okay.
Good job.
There we go. So I am with Pathways to Citizenship, which is a local nonprofit here in Solana Beach. Our vision is to be the, oh wait, how do I move? I don't know how to change screens. Oh gosh. Well, I'm going to put it in this view, which I know is not as pretty as full screen, but I don't know how to switch from slide to slide. Our vision is to be the most trusted and qualified provider of legal and educational services for our immigrant neighbors in San Diego. And it's really our goal to help immigrants navigate the complex legal and cultural pathways to citizenship. Arcella, I loved hearing about what your organization is doing. And in a lot of ways, ours is very similar. It's a very organic organization that just kind of grew out of the needs of our community. So we office out of the Solana Beach Presbyterian Church campus. And we kind of got started because we're right there next to Eden Gardens, which is a heavily Hispanic community here in Solana Beach. And there was an organization working out of the church called Casa de Amistad that was an ESL program for children. And the people at Solana Beach Presbyterian Church noticed that when these mothers and fathers were dropping their kids off for the ESL classes, that they just kind of hung around. And so then organically, we said, well, maybe we should start offering education in English language for adults. And so we really started as an educational program, and that was back in 2013. Then just kind of listening to our educational students, we heard of just different needs that the community had, which included wanting to naturalize and become US citizens. So then starting in about 2015, we expanded our services slightly to assist people in becoming citizens. We found in listening to the community that there were a lot of barriers to the citizenship process. One of them being the English language barrier, because the naturalization interview includes a civics test and an English language test. And another big barrier here in San Diego is, while there's a lot of organizations that assist people in the initial steps of immigration, if you're coming here, for asylum or refugee, those types of steps in the immigration process, but there's not that many organizations that take you all the way to the finish line, that have you become a US citizen. So we found that to be a barrier to citizenship in our community. And also, unfortunately, there is a lot of unscrupulous attorneys that hold themselves out as immigration attorneys, but don't have all the information and can really, really jeopardize people's status here in the United States, take money, don't really follow through. So we wanted to counteract that by giving our community a place where they know they can trust the people, that we're going to take them all the way to the finish line. And I'm really proud of what our staff is able to accomplish. We are a very small staff. There's only 5 of us. I'm the only licensed attorney on staff. We have 2 other staff members that are DOJ accredited, which means they can practice limited areas of immigration law. And we all work part-time, and somehow we're able to get everything done that needs to get done. On a side note, our name used to be North County Immigration and Citizenship Center, and just recently we changed our name to Pathways to Citizenship because we felt our old name was daunting. It didn't sound warm and friendly, and so we did rebrand recently. We offer a wider variety of services than we initially started with. As I said, we started as an educational program, ESL program for adults in the community. Then we slowly expanded into citizenship tutoring to help people understand and know the questions that were going to be on the civics test of naturalization. And now we've expanded our legal services as well. We used to do solely naturalization. Then we moved into DACA, which is deferred action for childhood arrival. I'm sure you've heard that. It's on and off the news all the time because the status of these people that are here temporarily under DACA is always in flux. It's a very touchy issue because DACA is for people who were brought over the border by their parents as minors during a certain period of time, obviously not their own choice, and they're given a temporary status here in the US, but there's no path from DACA to actually get a green card, and we're hoping that maybe that'll change in the future. And then about a year ago, we expanded our services even more to include adjustment of status, which is basically obtaining a green card. And we have found that that is a huge need in our community. A lot of people don't realize that they do have access to a green card, and we are very excited about this new expansion of services. One interesting fact about our organization, as you can see in these pictures here are some of our new citizens. We primarily have women clients, and when the women seem the most excited to become citizens and be able to be a part of as Arcella was saying, a part of the civic process here in the United States. And it was really fun during the last presidential election to get pictures of our new citizens voting for the first time. That was very exciting for many of them. And that is one of the driving forces for people to become citizens. Because with a green card, you experience most of the liberties that a citizen has, but voting is one of the big things you cannot do. And it's one of the driving forces for our clients to actually take the step to become a US citizen. So here are just kind of the numbers, our numbers at Pathways. We've created over 100 new citizens. We have represented people from 30 different countries around the world. Our cases have increased by 33%. We have had over 50 amazing volunteers. And the thing that we are most proud of is that 100% of the cases that we submit to USCIS are accepted. We have never had a case kicked back to us, and we're very, very proud of this number. There are a lot of organizations that do provide help to become citizens to immigrants here in San Diego. But what truly sets us apart is that we not only help prepare the paperwork, but we walk with our clients through the entire process. We file what's called the G28, which means we are actually their representative. So we are with them through the entire process. They'll come into our office. We'll do the paperwork with them. We set them up with a tutor so they can learn all the information that's going to be on the civics test, feel comfortable with their English. And if anything arises during the course of this process, which typically takes 12 to 15 months, we are there for them. And what I'm very proud of as well is that we create a real bond with the people that we work with, and they'll call our organization, my daughter graduated from high school, I'm so proud she's going on to college. We have a relationship within the community that they trust us, and they come to us with their joy and with their sorrows, and if we can do anything to help, even outside of what our services are, you know, be it I'm having an issue with my employer, we do everything we can to holistically help all of our clients. And that kind of piggybacks on all the COVID talk. Similar to Arcella, I joined the organization in February of 2020, and then obviously March of 2020 hit, and we had to pivot because the government completely shut down. So we weren't able to file any legal paperwork, and our community needed a lot of help. During this pandemic, we've helped over 160 families in a variety of ways, providing food, providing even money for rent sometimes. With the eviction moratorium, we were able to provide letters to landlords to make sure everyone could stay in their homes. Specific needs like computers for clients' children that had to be online for schooling. We did everything we possibly could to assist our community, and we were so grateful that they trusted us enough to come to us and ask for help. It was a very humbling experience to see how much the community did trust us and know that we were there for them during such a difficult time. Let me move down. So speaking of funding, our funding is primarily through just private donations. We offer our services to anyone who falls below 250% of the poverty guidelines for free, everything, all of our legal services. There are heavy government fees that sometimes, depending on what type of donations we get, that we can sometimes cover those fees as well. A lot of our legal clients also are eligible for fee waivers from the government, so they're able to waive the fee. The cost of becoming a U.S. citizen in government fees is about $735. DACA, to get a DACA status that has to be renewed every 2 years, that's about $535 every 2 years. And adjustment of status to get a green card, that's a $1,225 fee to the government. So what little we can do by offering our legal services for free really helps people, because the government does require such steep fees. And one of our other big donors is, or other ways we get our funding is through World Relief, which is a national organization. They get funding from the California Department of Social Services, and then we ask for a portion of that funding to, so it's kind of per case. So we will get a certain number of naturalization cases and a certain number of DACA cases that they will cover our legal fees. But we really rely on just the goodness of people's hearts to help our community. And we are blown away every year. We always wonder, are we going to be able to keep the doors open? And every year we're able to do it. We feel very just blessed by our generous, amazing community. That's about it for the slideshow. Let me stop share. I'm back. And so I'm sorry that was just so brief, but I would love to answer some questions if you have any about what we do. I was shocked, as mentioned in the beginning, I worked with an organization called Casa Cornelia, which does primarily asylum and unaccompanied minors at the border. And I've born and raised here in Solana Beach. I had no idea that this organization was down the street from my house. And I'm just blown away by what we're able to accomplish out of such a small office with such few employees. But I'm grateful to be here, and I'm so thankful that you guys invited us. I love hearing about Universidad Popular. It sounds like we have a lot of stuff in common. It sounds like we're both listening to the community and trying to build our organization around what the actual community needs are. And sometimes that does make funding difficult, because people like to give money to specific things, and it's